Hi, I'm Deborah Mullen and I am from Panda Rose, and I'm going to talk to you today about networking. Not social networking, that's for somebody else to talk about. I wouldn't normally talk about networking, but Leah suggested it because I actually do a lot of it. It's not really my job title, but somehow I was deemed the person best presentable to the outside world. I know what you're thinking. That weirdo? Yeah. Anyway, I've had a lot of people say to me, wow, Deborah, you're pretty good at this networking thing. And I'm like, I didn't used to be. And then they tell me, I don't think I'd be any good at it. And then there's a whole list of reasons why. And I'm here to address lots of the reasons that people give me as to why they'd be terrible at networking and why it's not for them and why they shouldn't do it. So here we go. Here's the list of lots of the reasons that I hear why people cannot or should not or whatever else can't do networking. First up, but I'm an introvert or I'm shy. Believe it or not, I'm an introvert too. I used to be shy. You get over it. It takes practice. It's like saying, I'm going to start ballet, but I don't know how to do ballet. Well, there's one way to do it. You take lessons. I mean, you start doing it basically. You go to a ballet class and you start dancing. It's just like networking. You go to a networking event and you just start doing it. Introversion is not an excuse for not doing stuff. You just do it and you keep doing it, and it takes practice. Just like anything. Being social takes practice. You practice it and you get better at it. Next up, I don't know how. That can be addressed a lot in the previous one of practice, but of course you need a starting point. It's a lot like making friends. Now, do you make your friends by just going up to them and talking to them? Whoop, sometimes. Do you make friends by seeing what you have something in common? Sometimes it even is a matter of looking at somebody, pointing at their shoes and saying, hey, I love your shoes. Yes, you can do that at a networking event. Sometimes you can walk up to them and ask them a question. What do you do? Sometimes you can ask them, what business are you in? It's just like normal, ordinary human interaction. That is how you get started at a networking event. And you move on from there. Next up, I don't know anybody. Well, that's a great place to start. That's exactly why you're there. Next up, I don't have money for it. You don't have to spend a lot of money on networking. Some networking events only cost $10, and they even include a free drink. Well, not a free drink. The $10 goes towards your drink. And you can spend all evening there talking and socializing with people. And it also usually includes hors d'oeuvres. Sometimes you can just meet somebody from that event for coffee at a cheap coffee place. And you don't even have to drink coffee. You can just drink water. They're not going to judge you. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. Next up, I don't know what to talk about. Well, what do you usually talk about when you're talking with people? Think about it. Well, you can talk about all of those things. Yeah, maybe you sat there thinking about really weird things like I did. Yeah, you can talk about those things because I've done it and people still like me. Next up, I don't have time. Well, if you have time for your business, then you do have time because this needs to be part of your business. Schedule it into your business. It's crucial. If you have time for a shower, you have time for networking. Skip your shower that morning. Nobody will notice. Next up, I don't want to ask for a favor. That's good because you probably shouldn't. Networking isn't a great moment to ask for somebody for a favor. You should also be looking for how you might offer somebody a favor. But really, networking events are not, it's not about asking for favors. It's about meeting people and introducing people to other people and connecting with people. Next up, I'm afraid of being rejected. How many of you have children? How many have taken them to the playground and they don't know any of the other children there? And somehow by the end of that event, they've made friends with everybody there. Take a card from your kid's playbook and recognize that maybe things aren't as bad as you think they are. Maybe everybody else there feels the same way as you do. Everybody's afraid of rejection. And because of that, they're also more willing to not reject you if you go up and talk to them. You don't need to be afraid of rejection as much as you think you do, because most people don't want to reject you. You go up and say hi to somebody, they're probably going to say hi back, and they're going to be willing to talk to you, even if it's about the weather. That is a great way to start the conversation. Next up, I'm uncomfortable talking about myself. That's okay, because at the beginning, you don't need to talk about yourself. You can start by asking other people about themselves, because lots of the time you'll find that other people are perfectly happy talking about themselves. Ask them questions, ask them about their life, ask them about work, ask them about their families, ask them about their hobbies. And eventually you'll get comfortable, and when they start asking you those same questions, you'll realize that it comes very naturally when people start asking you about yourself. Next, I'm afraid of others who know more about my business. So you suffer from imposter syndrome. I know that's very common. I did for a long time too. For me, I think the best way to get over that is to fake it till you make it. And there are people out there who know more than I do. So you take it as an opportunity to learn from them. Be humble, don't be proud. Introduce yourself to them. The point is, it's okay if other people know more than you, but you might know other things that they don't know. Work together with them. Have a good conversation. Find out what they know and they can find out what you know, and find out how you might be able to work with each other instead of against each other. It's not a contest. It's not where any of my potential clients are. How do you know if you're not networking there? First of all, maybe not. However, those people might know potential clients. I've been to lots of networking events where somebody says, oh, well, I don't have a need for your services, but I know somebody who does. And you get a reference for them and you get work from them. So that's the beauty of networking. That's the whole point of a network, is that networks aren't a closed circle. They connect to everybody around you. So remember that networks are bigger than just what you see. And I think the thing to remember about networking is that it's not about buying and selling and trying to talk about yourself or just talk about your business. In my experience, a lot of it has really been about building relationships, building trust, understanding other people and letting them understand you. It's a lot like building a friendship. And in fact, I've made real friendships out of networking, which has been really great. In fact, it's not uncommon for me to end up pulling out pictures of my children at a network event and showing them off to everyone. Anyway, I'm Deborah from Panda Rose. Go forth and network.